Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna talk about a real story and a real situation that happened to me. When I drove down to Old Town about 3 weeks ago, maybe. I think it was this month. It had to be about 3 weeks ago. And what happened was, when I was coming back, because I only had about 4 hours of sleep the whole night before, because I went to bed at like midnight and I could not sleep whatsoever. So I ended up getting up at around 4 in the morning, which is not great when you're going to be heading out to Old Town, which is about a 2.5 hour drive. And I was like, okay, I got my like crappy sleep, which was horrible. But when I was coming back from Old Town, the GPS, here's the thing, the GPS had me go a route I never been before, because usually it takes you up I-7 Interstate 75, where you'd go through like Lake City, Orange Park area, and then back to Jacksonville. And it never even had me go through that section. So it had me go through State Road 121, which I found out by Googling when I got home. It had me go through Fanning Springs, had me go through what's that town, Lake Butler, and I've never even was thinking about driving to that area. And what happened was, when I was coming home on 121, basically that road is a road that is very, very, very like back road country. Because, for example, certain parts of the trip I don't really remember that much, and I know, like I said, I was tired, so I don't know if I was like dozing off during the trip or what, but I remember certain parts of that trip. It could have been I was tired and I was just like bored and I just blacked out and I kept going, or it could have been that I was so bored that I literally almost fell asleep at the wheel, because like I said, I still don't really remember any of that that highway. Remember really anything, man. And I don't want to say I fell asleep at the wheel, but is it possible? Because like I said, I don't remember any of that. I remember getting on State Road 121, and the reason why it took me that way is probably because I put my address in right from my friend's house. So at the end of my story is, I really don't 100% remember if I fell asleep or I didn't. Hopefully to God I didn't, because for one, I didn't wreck my car, I didn't crash, I didn't swerve all over the highway. So the last thing I remember was driving behind a Walmart truck. Like I said, I was driving behind a Walmart truck is the last time I remember remember like really anything. So obviously I didn't injure myself, hurt myself, do anything significantly bad that would cause a wreck or anything, because nothing happened. So I'm just assuming that maybe I was still focused on the road, or I was just kind of just like focused straight and I made it home. Because once I got back into Lake Butler, it was an easy, smooth sail home. I remember that drive. I mean, guys, that's not what I want. I don't want you guys to assume that, oh, he's a bad driver, he sucks. No, it's not that I'm a shitty driver or anything. It's just, like I said, I was coming off of like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, because I went to bed at like midnight. And this happens every time I travel. It don't matter if I'm road tripping, I'm traveling by plane, whatever. I'm going with family, I'm going with friends. It does not matter. It always comes down to, I'm always like, I don't know if I'm nervous or I'm too excited or what, but I always end up going to bed like real late and getting up extremely early. That I ever remember going to bed at like 9 o'clock and getting up at like 6 o'clock. I never remember that as a traveler. I never remember that. I remember always going to bed like maybe like 11 or 12 and not being able to go to bed until like real late at night. And it only happens when I travel, because when I normally don't travel, I can go to bed at like 9 o'clock and get up at like 6, like I did today. And I know a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to explain to me what happened, but I just thought I would tell you a real world story of what happened when I recently went to Old Town, Florida, which I said is like, I think it's like 71 miles or something like that one way. So you guys might be thinking, well, that's not that far. Well, when you're coming off of like not the most amount of sleep, it can be a long trip, especially when we were driving all day anyway. We were driving all over Gainesville, then we went from Gainesville to Old Town, and that's about an hour from Gainesville. So on top of that, because it's an hour and a half from my house to Gainesville, I'll say that, then another, I think, hour from there. So I think it's like actually like an hour, like 2 hours and like 20-minute drive or something like that. And you guys might be thinking, well, that's not bad. Yeah, it might not sound like a long trip or anything like that, but on low sleep it was. But I've done this trip, I'll say this, guys, at least had done this trip like 3 or 4 times, and pretty much I've taken every route now that you can get down there. I took the Lake City way, which is the fastest way, and the only reason I don't go through Lake City is there's nothing out there. Stuff happens is when you're road tripping or you're traveling or you're just being on the road for a long period of time. If you're just driving like from work and home, maybe it could be a 9 to 5 type person or whatever, and you got up real extremely early and you get off work from a long day and you're like drowsy and tired. They say listen to music at full blast will help. That does not help at all, because for me, I can sleep during music. I can put on like some Eminem, some Metallica, and I can fall asleep. It's just music doesn't work. You say roll your window down. That doesn't work, because definitely cooler air. I definitely notice when I have cool air, and like if it's like cold outside and I have the windows down or windows up in the house, I can definitely feel like the cold air come on me, and it makes me fall asleep. Definitely makes me fall asleep. So my only recommendation, if you're falling asleep, find a rest stop or something. And there is no rest stops where I was, so, and you're not pulling on the side of the road because there was no place to pull over. So it would be like pull over, take a nap, rest a little bit, get out and stretch a little bit, because sometimes that's what all you need is a little bit of stretching, a little bit of maybe a Red Bull or an energy drink or something like that. A Monster sponsoring this video. No, they're not sponsoring this video because I don't drink their garbage. But like I said, that's my story.